Hello?
Hello?
Shall we start?
Yes, we can start, Shalifu. You are mute. You are mute. You are mute, Shalif.
Thank you. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, dear participants. A warm and heartfelt welcome to the COP5 online events. These events represent informal yet invaluable opportunities for the exchange of information, diverse perspectives, policy development, and the emergence of new and alternative stakeholder insights among our parties to the convention. Before we officially start the session, let me go through a few housekeeping notes. As you can see, you have the possibility to test your audio and video settings by opening the audio and video panel. And then you can also write your questions through the chat panel. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, you can write on the chat panel. And you can also click on the participants panel to know who is attending today's event. If you have any question and if you want to take the floor, you can always click on the raise hand icon that appears next to your name on the participants panel. And when the moderator will call names based on the order of raised hands and allow you to unmute. And when you're named, please unmute yourself and speak. And when your speaking is over, kindly mute yourself and click the lower hand icon. And you may also wish to type questions directly in the chat box and send to everyone. If you need any technical assistance, please put your message in the chat box and send it to the host. And kindly note that this session is being recorded and broadcast live on YouTube. Thank you. Over to you, Gilbert.
Yes, thank you, dear Shalifu. Thank you, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all, depending from which part of the world you are. Thank you for your time and consideration in participating in this webinar. I am Dr. Gilbert Kwepo from the African Center for Environmental Health, an organization working for mercury-free dentistry in Africa. I am based in Yaoundé, Cameroon. I am honored to moderate this important session today, and then I would like to share with you the program that is, we will begin quickly by giving the floor to some panelists for the welcome speech on behalf of the World Alliance. Just to remind that the theme of the webinar is phase out dental amalgam and emerging need to eliminate mercury in products. This webinar is co-organized by the World Alliance for Mercury-Free Dentistry, partnering with the Children Environmental Health Foundation in Zambia. Without further ado, I will give the floor to Griffin for the opening, for the greeting or welcome on behalf of the World Alliance. Griffin, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Gilbert. Hope you can all hear me. Honorable speakers, distinguished participants, on behalf of the World Alliance for Mercury-Free Dentistry, it's an honor for me to welcome you to this important give and take meeting on the issue of dental amalgam phase out. At the outset of this meeting, I would like to thank all our distinguished speakers who are lined up to present today for their valuable contribution that we look forward to hearing in this webinar, and to ensure that that will ensure that we continue to write the history of dental amalgam phase out. I wish you all an excellent presentation and fruitful discussions in this webinar. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Griffin. I would like to remind that this welcome speech is delivered on behalf of Mr. Dominique Ballet, that is Vice President of the World Alliance, that could not make it this time because he had a last-minute emergency. And he also tasked me to give the same speech in French. I will do it right away. Honorable panelists, distingués participants, L'honneur m'échoit au nom de l'Alliance mondiale pour la dentisterie sans mercure de vous souhaiter la bienvenue à cet important rendez-vous du donner et du recevoir sur la question de l'élimination progressive de l'amalgame dentaire. À l'entame de cette rencontre, je remercie tous nos distingués intervenants pour la qualité de leur intervention au fin de continuer à écrire l'histoire de l'amalgame dentaire. Excellente présentation à tous. Quote in. Donc, and now we would like to turn the floor to Mr. Michael from Zambia for the welcome speech on behalf of the Center, the Children Environmental Health Foundation. Michael, you have the floor, please.
Thank you very much, Gilbert. And on behalf of the Children Environmental Health Foundation in Zambia, we are glad to partner with the rest of the world, especially Africa, in this process. African countries have so, for a long period of time, been victims of the usage of products containing mercury that are not only harmful to environment, but also for human, especially children and the expecting mothers. It is for this reason that an organization, as an organization, we are looking forward to complete phase out dental amalgam in Africa and in Zambia in particular. It is therefore our appeal to all African governments to implement international agreements on the complete phase out of products containing mercury, or indeed dental amalgam should be actually embraced into the policy formulation. It's only when these policy formulation at national level are implemented that the parliament can see and see how can they help the communities in various governments, especially developing governments. So we are hoping that these international agreements, when we agree upon as the state, they must immediately be integrated into the parliamentary policy so that they can be debated on the parliament. And this is where we get the parliament representatives of the people who are members of parliament, and we will be able to guide the process and make things faster, especially for protecting the public health as well as the environment. I thank you very much for our government, especially the new government that has given us chance also NGOs participate in government policy. We are very thankful, and we are very thankful to all the governments in Africa so that we work together as a team to help the need, especially the vulnerable population at least. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Michael. Thank you. You keep in your time. Now we go to the multilingual welcome from the leaders of the World Alliance across the globe. And I will first give the floor to Jeffrey Branco. He will deliver a speech in Portuguese. Jeffrey, you have the floor.
Thank you, Gilbert. Os cumprimentos a todos e todas. Meu nome é Jeffer Castelo Branco. Eu estou como coordenador da Aliança para a Odontologia Livre de Mercúrio no Brasil. E falo diretamente aqui da região sudeste do meu país. Desejo que tenhamos um ótimo encontro, que possamos avançar rapidamente para a eliminação do amálgama de mercúrio, para juntos fazermos com que este produto odontológico com mercúrio adicionado entre para a história como produto do passado. Thank you, Gilbert.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Now I pass the floor to Dora Shao from Agenda in Tanzania. Dora, you have the floor. Dora is not with us. We pass to Ziad. Ziad, you have the floor. I will speak in Arabic. Ziad. Maybe we have some technical problem. We'll see. We go to Dr. Sharia Hussein. Dr. Sharia Hussein, you have the floor, please.
Participants, colleague, Shubha Sandha, Assalamu alaikum. I'm speaking from South Asian countries and I will mix up with Hindi, Bangla and English. So dear participants, in Hindi, Namaste, Namaskar, and in Bangla, Shagatam. So I would like to express our gratitudes and sincere thanks all of your participants here to participate in this webinar. This is an important initiative as taken by the World Alliance, Champion Organizations and Minamata Secretariat to accelerate the Minamata COP5 process to end amalgam. So this is an important space that you can express your views, your ideas, and how we can tackle this issue in coming future. This is not only the issue of Mercury, this is the issue of the survival for the future generations. So I would like to thanks again for your participation and your valuable contribution to your speech. Thank you, moderator.
Thank you, Dr. Sharia. Thank you. And I would like to beg to plead for the speaker to be very short, to keep with time. Now I will invite Maria Carcamo from Uruguay to speak, to have a welcome speech in Spanish. Maria, you have the floor. Apparently, Maria is not with us. So, as you all know, we have 10 speaker panelists in this webinar, and we was supposed to begin with the president of the COP5 of the Minamata Convention, the Honorable Claudia Dumitri of Romania. And then from the last minute update, she is traveling now, so we'll have missing her in this webinar. So my apology for the participant for this last minute inconvenience. Now we give the floor to the Minister of Environment, Water and Sanitation of Burkina Faso, Honorable Roger Barrow, who would like to take the floor. Roger Barrow or Mr. Won Wonson, if he has a update from the minister. Mr. Wondi, any update? Won Watson, please. We will now jump to the next speaker in my list. We have the long-serving Minamata delegate from Asia, Dr. Liu Yuan Nguyen of Vietnam. Doctor, you have the floor. Share your experience in phasing out or phasing down dental amalgam in your country or in your country. Please, you have the floor. 5 minutes, share your experience with the panelists, with the participants on the way you phase out or phase down dental amalgam in Vietnam.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, as a focal point for Vietnam, I participated in the development of the Minamata Convention from the early days of drafting and found that dental amalgam is one of the most important and hotly discussed topic in meetings. Vietnam's viewpoint has always been consistent with the direction of gradually reducing and moving toward eliminating this type of dental filling material because of content at about 50% mercury, a neurotoxic and environmental pollutant. In 2018, the Vietnam Dental Association issued a recommendation to all dental practitioners nationwide not to use mercury in dentistry, especially for children, pregnant, and breastfeeding women. 1 year later, the General Department of Medical Examination and Treatment Management, the focus agency on amalgam issue at the Ministry of Health, issued a document to provincial health departments and to all dental facilities in Vietnam to request to stop using amalgam on the vulnerable group mentioned above and proposed a roadmap to completely phase out this dental material. This agency has also promoted the use of cost-effective and clinically effective mercury-free alternative for dental restoration. At the same time, encouraged medical schools to educate and train dental professionals and students on the use of mercury-free dental restoration alternatives and on promoting best management practices. As a result, the use of dental amalgam on vulnerable groups in Vietnam ended early 2020. The leading public dental hospitals have completely stopped using this toxic material for all patients. There are very few dental facilities, public or non-public, that still use amalgam. The Vietnam Chemical Agency of the Ministry of Industry and Trade, the national focal point for implementing the Minamata Convention on Mercury, is reviewing to submit a request to competent authorities for consideration and decision to completely stop the use of mercury amalgam due to its risk to human health and the environment for mercury exposure and disposal of amalgam. We always aim to mercury-free dentistry in Vietnam. I think it would be great if other countries also support this emerging need, not only for public health, but also the environment. So thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Dr. Liu. Thank you. That is exciting. That is very great news that since 2020, Vietnam has ended the use of dental amalgam on vulnerable population. That is what we are looking for. Thank you very much. Thank you, and thank you for keeping within the time. So my next speaker is Honorable Nilton Tato from Brazil Chamber of Deputies. Mr. Tato, you have the floor.
Sorry, we have the video.
Okay, the video. Okay, thank you. Yes, so we will listen for Mr. Tato video for 5 minutes. Thank you. And if you have any question, please use the chat function to ask question and direct to which panelist your question is going to. And in the case you need extensive information, please share also your email so that we can follow up with you. Thank you very much.
Olá, quero aqui cumprimentar cada um dos participantes aí deste evento da Conferência das Partes da COP5 da Convenção de Minamata. Um agradecimento especial à Aliança Mundial para a Odontologia Livre de Mercúrio pelo convite. Como se sabe, o mercúrio é um elemento químico incontrolável, que polui o meio ambiente e é perigoso aos seres humanos e aos animais. Eu já venho acompanhando esse debate sobre a poluição do mercúrio, em especial do impacto que tem para povos e comunidades tradicionais do uso do mercúrio na mineração. Todos sabemos que ele é prejudicial à saúde, causa danos aos sistemas e órgãos do corpo humano e provoca vários sinais e muitos sintomas adversos. Nós estamos trabalhando aqui na Câmara Federal para irmos ao encontro da Convenção de Minamata. Eu mesmo estou como relator de um projeto de lei que visa dar uma resposta imediata para a emenda das crianças. O projeto, entre várias ações, cria restrições imediatas ao uso do amálgama de mercúrio em populações vulneráveis, crianças e adolescentes com idade até 15 anos, mulheres grávidas, gestantes, mulheres amamentando, lactantes e dentes de leite. Esse metal pesado, além de ser tóxico, consegue atravessar a barreira placentária, sendo altamente nocivo para os fetos em formação, em especial no sistema neurológico. Todos nós sabemos dessas consequências do uso do mercúrio. Assim, aqui no Congresso Nacional, estamos construindo estas e outras leis que visam proteger a reprodução humana dos males do mercúrio. A sociedade civil, como a própria Aliança Mundial para a Odontologia Livre de Mercúrio, tem apoiado o nosso trabalho com o objetivo de avançar para uma sociedade mais protegida, para que o mercúrio seja de fato uma coisa do passado. Então, conte com a gente nessa batalha aí junto com vocês e parabéns pelo evento e estamos sempre juntos aí. Grande abraço, bom evento, obrigado.
Thank you very much. Honorable, thank you very much. And then we now give the floor to the Secretary General of Environment of Jordan, the Honorable Mohamed Kassash Med. Honorable Mohamed Kassash Med, if you are getting me, please, you have the floor.
Excuse me, Mr. Gilbert. I'm supposed to make the translation for the congressman.
From, you mean for Portuguese to English?
From Portuguese to English, yes.
Yes, sorry. Shalifu, there is a way to have the translation using facility we have?
Hello, Gilbert. No,
Yes.
I think Thais can do the oral presentation now.
Yes, I have his speech translated.
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, please go ahead. Sorry.
No problem. Hello, I want to greet each one of the participants of this event at the conference that is part of COP5 of the Minamata Convention. Special thanks to the World Alliance for Mercury-Free Dentistry for the invitation. As it is known, mercury is an uncontrollable chemical element that pollutes the environment and is dangerous for humans and animals. I've been keeping up with this debate about mercury pollution, especially on the impact it has on traditional peoples and communities in terms of the use of mercury in mining. We all know it is harmful to our health, it causes damage to our systems and organs, and provokes many signs and several adverse symptoms. At the Federal Chamber, we've been working to meet the standards of the Minamata Convention. I particularly am the sponsor of a bill that aims to give an immediate response to the children's amendment. Among several actions, the bill establishes immediate restrictions to the use of mercury amalgam fillings in vulnerable populations, children and teenagers under the age of 15, pregnant and lactating women, and milk tooth. This heavy metal, besides being toxic, can surpass the placental barrier, being highly noxious for the fetus and formation, more specifically to its neurological system. We all know about such consequences on the use of mercury. Thus, in the National Congress, we're building this and other bills that aim to protect against the harms of mercury on humans. The civil society, as well as the World Alliance for Mercury-Free Dentistry, has been supporting our work with the aim of taking steps forward toward a more protected society so that mercury becomes indeed something from the past. So count on us to work with you on this battle, and congratulations on the event, and we're in this together. Hugs, and I wish you a good event. Thank you.
Thank you, Sena, for the translation, and thank you for the good experience from Brazil, the collaboration between government and civil society organization in phasing down and phasing out dental amalgam. That is very good. That is very welcome. I can see in my screen that the Honorable Minister of Environment, Water and Sanitation from Burkina Faso has joined us. Honorable Ministre, Monsieur le Ministre de l'Environnement, de l'Eau et de l'Assainissement du Burkina Faso, vous avez la parole pour entretenir les panélistes. Et je présume que c'est par rapport à l'amendement de la région africaine pour la COP 5. Vous avez la parole, Monsieur le Ministre. Vous pouvez, votre micro est fermé, Monsieur le Ministre.
Ok, bonjour à tous.
Bonjour, Monsieur le Ministre.
Oui, voilà, c'est pas évident de se connecter. Il y a tellement de réunions, donc je m'excuse. Donc, si tu peux reprendre la question, Gilbert, avant que je ne commence, ça va.
Oui, Monsieur le ministre, nous nous excusons. Nous avons commencé un peu plus tôt. Vous deviez prendre la parole d'entame comme panéliste pour partager peut-être l'expérience de l'Afrique, de la région africaine, puis la lutte pour l'élimination des amalgames dentaires en Afrique. Et justement, dans le contexte qui sied la prochaine COP, la région africaine a mis sur la table une proposition d'amendement et puis peut-être vous pouvez présenter de manière succincte en 5 minutes le contenu et l'essence de cet amendement pour que d'autres régions s'approprient et puis s'impliquent dans cette initiative.
Ok, merci beaucoup. Donc, bonjour à toutes et à tous. Je m'excuse encore, c'est pas évident souvent, comme c'est en ligne, mais on fait l'effort, voilà, d'être présent. En tout cas, je salue et je félicite l'initiative de ce webinaire-là qui permet de mettre en avant les acquis et surtout de les consolider. Donc, pour la dernière COP, on a pu obtenir des acquis sur la question de l'amalgame et tout le monde a vu comment c'était un peu difficile, mais on a obtenu quelque chose. Maintenant, pour la COP 5, le principe, c'est de parachever. Voilà, on a commencé un processus. On a dit pour les enfants et les femmes allaitantes, maintenant, il faut aller plus. Voilà, pour parachever le processus et permettre de protéger les différentes populations dans nos pays. Pour les détails, bon, je pourrais laisser Gilbert va expliquer un peu les détails, mais il faut dire, voilà, c'est de parachever. C'est un processus, on doit arriver à terme et permettre au continent africain et à d'autres pays d'être à l'abri de ces problèmes de santé liés à l'utilisation de l'amalgame contenant du mercure. Pour notre pays, comme le Burkina Faso, après la COP 4, on a essayé de travailler pour avoir du résultat. On a travaillé avec l'OMS, ça étonne beaucoup de gens, mais l'OMS nous a accompagnés pour diffuser d'abord les résultats de la COP 4 et à la suite, elle va nous accompagner pour élaborer une réglementation. Le processus a pris du retard pour des situations administratives, mais ça est en train de se normaliser pour que la décision qui a été prise à la COP 4 puisse être reflétée par une réglementation nationale. Le processus est en bonne voie. On a échangé avec les dentistes, les chirurgiens dentistes, on ne se comprenait pas, mais je crois qu'on va se comprendre. L'OMS va accompagner le processus avec le ministère de la Santé, le ministère de l'Environnement, lors des chirurgiens dentistes et puis la société civile pour qu'on obtienne quelque chose qui protège la population, notamment les femmes l'état de grossesse, les femmes allaitantes et puis les enfants. Le reste, c'est de dire aux autres régions que c'est possible. Voilà, il faut internaliser les décisions prises par la conférence des parties. La mise en œuvre peut ne pas être totale, mais il faut faire des progrès. Voilà, avancer par, on peut le dire par morceaux, mais à la fin, arriver à quelque chose qui ressemble à une mise en œuvre. Sinon, nos grandes réunions n'auront pas de sens si nous n'arrivons pas à implémenter les décisions, même à une petite échelle. Donc, c'est de rassurer tout le monde que la région tient à ce que le processus soit parachevé pour la question de l'amalgame dentaire, comme on le dit, Mercury History. Voilà, que ce soit du passé sur ce thème-là. Et que sur d'autres thèmes, comme l'éclairage au mercure et d'autres, les seuils des déchets, on puisse avancer, que ça ne soit pas uniquement des discussions. Donc, voici un peu ramassé le mot que je voulais dire et rassurer les parties prenantes que le vice-président Roger Barrault, voilà, suit le processus et va continuer à donner son appréciation et son apport jusqu'à la COP 5 et après la COP 5. Parce que tout ne s'arrête pas là. C'est là-bas que ça commence. Quand il y aura des fortes décisions, il faut les mettre en œuvre. Et on a besoin de la mobilisation de tout le monde. Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup, Honorable Ministre de l'Environnement. In short, I would like to summarize what the Excellence Minister of Environment, Water and Sanitation of Burkina Faso has just said, that this is the continuation of the fight starting at COP4, where we obtained a decision that ban the use of dental amalgam to vulnerable population, that children and pregnant women. And this time, the African region is tabled a new amendment, and Mr. Wondi will come in detail on the amendment by the African region, so that it is a continuation or it is fight in continuation. So at COP5, we aim to maybe end the manufacture, importation, exportation of dental amalgam, and also adding some measure to really speed up the phase down and phase out of mercury by 2030. So, and domestically, after COP4, Burkina Faso has worked constructively with the WHO at the domestic level in disseminating the result of the resolution on dental amalgam, and also trying to start to draft a national regulation to implement that resolution on dental amalgam. The work is still ongoing due to some administrative challenge that many of you know already, but he's certain that everything will come into normalcy very shortly. And he also invite other regions to support and reassure his own region that he will be there at COP5 as Vice President of the Minamata Convention Bureau in the region, and the work will continue at COP5 and after COP5 with his full support. So this is in brief what the minister has just said, and I give the floor to the technical person, Mr. Wowondi, to present briefly the African amendment so that people from other regions can understand what are we talking really about. Thank you, Mr. Wowondi. You have the floor. Thank you again, Mr. Honorable Minister, for your time and for your availability for this webinar. Thank you. Wondi, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. Yeah, good afternoon, good morning, everyone. My name is Wondi Wasan. I'm from Ethiopia. I work as an advisor to the African Group of Negotiators on the Minamata Convention. And just briefly, we are introducing an amendment proposal on behalf of Africa, and this is going to be a second revision since the last COP, all because we are seeing many countries globally banning the phase out of dental amalgam within their own jurisdictions, and that really set an alarm on our part, because we lack the regulatory infrastructure to control our borders. So that's really an alarming situation for us, and that's why we're introducing this. Maybe we can discuss about proposals later on. Is that the idea, Gilbert? Yeah.
Yes, that is the idea. So it is a phase out for the manufacture, import, and export of dental amalgam by 2030, and then addition of two
Yes.
measures in part
Phase-
two
yeah.
to support this phase out. Thank you very much. That was the point. Thank you very
Okay.
much. And now, mindful of the time, I give the floor to the Vice President of Latin America for the World Alliance for Mercury Dentistry, Maria Carcamo. Maria Carcamo, you will have the floor, and please express yourself in English because there is no translation. Thank you. Maria, you have the floor. Maria.
Now, sorry, I was talking to myself. Well, hello. Sorry, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. As I'm in the rural region, I would like to tell you a little bit of what's happening in our regions. And the good news is that we have quite a few countries that they are not really using dental amalgam anymore. Like, for instance, El Salvador is not using amalgams anymore. The same as Panama. They have a regulation that is forbidden to use the dental amalgam. And also Bolivia, since quite a few years ago, they have a regulation not to use amalgam. Even not only for children and women and pregnant women and breastfeeding women, but for all the population. And what I could say is that in countries, all the countries in Latin America, or most of the countries, they are taking different steps to eliminate dental amalgam. And we just got to learn last week in the regional meeting that, for instance, Costa Rica is ready to eliminate the dental amalgam, but they just want to have a kind of article or something that it says, in case it's needed, we would like to have that freedom to use it in very specific situations. So, and you know also that in Uruguay, a dental amalgam is not used anymore, not only in children and women, pregnant women, but in all population, and it's not taught dental amalgam since 2021. So we hope that the amendment that African is going to present during COP5, some of our country from our region will support the amendment. Because they said it, if we are not using it for one kind of population, we are not going to, it's going to be a bit not so difficult to eliminate for the whole population. So that's what I could say about my region. I am really very happy because I think we are moving forward to eliminate the use of dental amalgams.
Thank you very much, Madam the Vice President. Thank you for the news, that good news from the GRULAC and Latin America. And thank you specifically to Uruguay that have already phased out the use of dental amalgam to all the population. That is a good example that it is something that is possible. We are not asking something that is impossible. It is already the case in Uruguay. Now, our next speaker is the Permanent Secretary of Green Energy and Environment of Zambia, the Honorable Doti Chibamba. Honorable, you have the floor. Michael, you can confirm the Honorable is online? Okay, we move to the next speaker in my list. It is the dentist in the Tunisia government who ordered the ban on dental amalgam for children and pregnant women. Dr. Aoutef Touri. You have the floor. Dr. Autep, if you are with us, please, you have the floor for 5 minutes or less. Doctor is not with us, so now
Gilbert?
yes.
Gilbert.
Yes.
Two panelists is waiting here, Dr. Musharraf Hussain from Bangladesh and Graham, Dr. Graham.
Yes, they are in the list. They are in the list. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. So, yes, Dr. Musharraf from Bangladesh, please, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gilbert, moderator of the session, phasing out dental amalgam and emerging need to eliminate mercury in products. The President of Minamata Convention, the President World Alliance for Mercury-Free Dentistry, all the learned speakers and participants of the session, wishing you all good health and mind. I am Dr. Musharraf Hussain Khandokar, working as Line Director, Medical Education and Health Manpower Development, Minister of Health. Our objective is to strengthen medical education and health manpower development system for developing medical professionals and health workforce to deliver standard and high quality services in achieving universal health coverage. In procurement or purchase, I always avoid mercury product and advise alternative like a traumatic restorative treatment technique, minimal invasive dentistry, and biometric dentistry as a paradigm shift in dentistry. I am also WHO responsible staff for oral health in the health ministry, and I timely submitted the survey phasing down the use of dental amalgam in our country. In 2013, Bangladesh signed the Minamata Convention, the global treaty to phase out all sorts of mercury uses to protect human health and environment from its detrimental effect. In this year, 18 April 2023, Bangladesh government ratified the Minamata Convention and working on it for developing national objectives. Actually, in government and ministry level, no activities till now, but we are trying to make it active. Next, coming 18th of the month, this October, we have a roundtable meeting with Ministry, Director General, Bangladesh Dental Society, NGO, and very prominent NGO, Environment Social Development and other dental organizations and dental professionals to take the important decisions. Our National Dental Organization, Bangladesh Dental Society, declared amalgam phase out in the treatment of children, the pregnant women, and nursing mothers. Non-government organization, Environmental and Social Development of Bangladesh, Dental Society, and other oral health professionals associations are trying to fight against the mercury amalgam. They are working together and creating awareness among society, all the schools and colleges. They are arranging seminars, workshops, and poster also publications. Bangladesh Dental Society, in collaboration with ESDO, Association of Oral Alliance for Mercury-Free Dentistry, and Asian Center Environmental Health working together for mercury-free dentistry in Bangladesh. Active participations and contribution of Army Dental Corps to establish mercury-free dentistry in Bangladesh is very appreciable. Dental military hospitals are phasing down dental amalgam. Last 3 years, they did not purchase mercury or dental amalgam restorative materials in their military hospital, and they are now encouraging possible alternatives to mercury dental amalgam like composite, resin, glass ionomer, etc. So I hope all the dentists, academicians, professionals, organizations as well as government will actively take part in the joint movement against dental amalgam to establish mercury-free dentistry in Bangladesh. Thanks to all for your attention.
Thank you, Dr. Mosharraf Hussain, for this presentation and the good news from Bangladesh that collaboration between civil society organization, government agency, and the researcher is really in play to provide a world or a Bangladesh without dental amalgam. That is very great news as we prepare for COP5. Next speaker in my list is Chief Dentist Officer of the World Alliance for Mercury-Free Dentistry, Dr. Graham Muruhal. You have the floor, Doctor. Dr. Graham has a presentation, so it may take some time for the Secretariat to share the screen, but the floor is to Dr. Graham.
Thank you, Gilbert, and thank you for all those attendees. What I intend to do today is to give a short overview about the adverse effects of dental amalgam, the health effects of mercury from dental amalgam. I'm the Chief Dental Officer of the World Alliance for Mercury-Free Dentistry, and I can be contacted for any specialist questions about the use of mercury and dental amalgam at the email that you see on your screen. The World Alliance has written a report about the toxicity of mercury from dental amalgam, and I can send any delegates or anyone who wants to see that report to them. In short, the WHO in 1991 had a report on inorganic mercury 118, which established that amalgam is the largest source of mercury to humans. No safety level can be established for mercury from amalgams. There's no need to use amalgam as it was established at INC 1 by the Swedish Chemical Agency. The alternatives are available, affordable, and effective. Just a short note, exposure to mercury from dental amalgams is 24/7. You can see from the little green picture, this is a 22-year-old amalgam filling, which we took out, and then we've just rubbed it for 10 seconds with an eraser on top, and you can see the mercury vapor coming off. Mercury vapor is the most bioavailable and toxic form of mercury, as within 20 seconds of inhaling it, it's lodged in your brain. The little picture, the little golden picture you can see to your left is a microscopic picture of an amalgam, and you see the little droplets which are always on top. And these are the little droplets which you swallow and inhale on a daily basis. Mercury used in a dental filling, according to Health Canada 2007, only 28% of the mercury that a dentist uses actually goes into the making of the filling. 10% of the mercury is swallowed by the patient to be excreted into the environment, and 62%, that's the rest of the mercury, which is really, if you add the 10% to it, 72%, goes directly into the environment. BPM, which is best practice management, the use of separators, etc., can reduce this from 72% to 56%. But even so, the majority of mercury from dental amalgam goes into the environment, no matter what the dentist does. Of course, one of the major problems that we have is fetal exposure, because the placenta is not a barrier for dental mercury. And the more maternal amalgams, in other words, the more amalgams the mother has, means the more mercury the fetus absorbs. And one maternal amalgam can expose the fetus to levels of mercury that can cause irreversible damages to the fetal brain, which is why we're all here and trying to ban this toxic substance. How many is too many? Well, again, we've conducted the science, and if you are an adult and have 3 or more amalgam fillings, you are likely to have an adverse health effect related to the exposure of mercury from those amalgam fillings. If you're a child, it's 1 or more. Because remember, mercury penetrates the placental barrier, preferentially absorbed by the fetus, and accumulates in the brain, kidneys, heart, spleen, and gut. Exposure to mercury causes developmental defects such as reducing IQ. And finally, who's at risk? We have the vulnerable groups, as was discussed before, pregnant and lactating women, fetuses, infants, children, the old, those with kidney disorders, those with a compromised immune function, and of course, dental personnel who are exposed to it throughout their working lives. Exposure to dental mercury increases rates of depression, anxiety, and suicidal thoughts. And it also leads to adverse neurological, psychological, and cardiac effects. All of these are noted in the report I referenced earlier with all the scientific references attached. There are no valid reasons, either dental, financial, or environmentally, to continue the use of dental amalgam. Okay, and thank you for your attention.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Graham, for this science on dental amalgam, because we also face the issue, the resistance that people oppose the phase down or phase out due to science. Now, this is good example of science that is leading to the conclusion that there is no valid reason to continue using dental amalgam, because when we are using dental amalgam, only 28% is actually going to the filling, and then 10% we are getting in our body, and 62% is going to the environment. So we are wasting material, and we are polluting the environment. And the mercury is passed on to the next generation through the placenta or the mother that is exposed. That is the science behind the dental amalgam that everybody should keep in mind as we move to the negotiation at COP5 to really decide on the fate of dental amalgam. I'm checking on my list and checking whether the Honorable Secretary General of Environment of Jordan is with us. I'm not sure that he's not, because I cannot see everybody in the panel list. And then if the Permanent Secretary of Green Energy and Environment of Zambia, Honorable Duty Shibamba, is with us, please, Honorable, you have the floor for your presentation. Apparently, we don't have all these key panelists with us now, and maybe we will have them at COP5 during the expert presentation session and other side event. So we will now open the floor for, yes.
We have Dr. Watef. Dr. Watef Tweedy is now online.
Yeah.
Yes, doctor, you have the floor, please.
Ok, merci tout le monde. Donc voilà, je suis très ravie de m'avoir donné cette opportunité. En fait, je vais essayer de partager avec vous l'expérience réussie de la Tunisie, donc pour l'élimination de l'amalgame dentaire pour les femmes enceintes et les enfants. Donc voilà.
Yes, doctor, we are hearing you.
Oui, parmi les arguments, vous m'entendez?
Oui, on vous entend. Allez-y.
Voilà. Donc, comme vous savez, parmi les arguments que le mercure qui est présent dans les amalgames, il peut aller donc dans le sol, dans l'air et puis même dans les alimentations. Et pour cela, donc, ça peut causer plusieurs pathologies pour l'être humain. Comme vous savez aussi, la Tunisie était par les États membres signataires de cette convention le 10 octobre 2013 et elle a déjà commencé à mettre des textes de loi pour l'élimination non seulement de l'amalgame, mais aussi l'interdiction de l'utilisation des thermomètres à mercure le 27 juin 2018. Et sur cette base-là, qu'on a pu identifier toutes les parties prenantes, les principaux donc, qui peuvent interférer pour l'élimination de l'amalgame, à savoir le ministère de l'Environnement, le ministère de la Santé, les conseils syndicats et les facultés de médecine dentaire et le travail associatif, bien sûr, qui est très important. Nous, on a commencé par une application qui est bottom-up. Donc, c'est une expérience pilote. On a choisi une région donc, de la Tunisie. On a bien formé tous les médecins dentistes sur ce propos-là qui vont être des formateurs. Et on a inventé ce qu'on appelle le ISO Mercury Free pour des unités et encourager les médecins donc, à avoir cette faveur dans leurs unités. On a aussi fait une enquête sur l'évaluation des connaissances des médecins dentistes. pour aussi bien privé que public, pour les engager. Et on a bien trouvé, donc, parmi nos arguments, que 86% des médecins dentistes ils sont pour l'élimination de l'amalgame, donc ça pose pas de problème. Par contre, presque la moitié des médecins dentistes ils sont en train d'éliminer les déchets à mercure encore dans les poubelles ordinaires. Donc, on est allé plus loin dans la convention de Minamata aussi. Il y a une clause sur la recherche et on est allé à la faculté de médecine dentaire pour engager les étudiants à faire des recherches en matière des risques de l'amalgame et la gestion des déchets et des interférents. Et même
Docteur,
Pardon?
Oui, merci. Compte tenu du temps, vous pouvez conclure rapidement en
Oui, ok.
donnant en
Donc
2
voilà
mots.
donc le travail associatif. Et la Tunisie a réussi donc à mettre 2 textes de loi début 2023 qui pour l'élimination de l'amalgame pour les enfants, les femmes enceintes et allaitantes et aussi pour la gestion des déchets à mercure qui est issu de l'amalgame. Le Conseil de l'ordre aussi, il a bien adopté les circulaires du ministère de la Santé. Et voilà donc les étapes qui viennent pour la Tunisie, ça va être le suivi de l'exécution de ces textes réglementaires. Pour le ministère de l'Environnement, c'est la gestion des déchets à mercure. Et enfin, on va aller vers l'Assemblée des représentants du peuple pour la ratification de cette convention. La Tunisie a pu le faire, vous pouvez le faire aussi. Et merci pour votre attention.
Thank you, Doctor. I will finish with where you end. Then Tunisia make it, every region, every country can make it. Thank you very much for all, for this participation, for attending this webinar. And we think there is a message and we receive a lot of questions in the chat. We will follow up with each one that have a specific question because due to the time we could not we cannot have a question and answer session. It is unfortunate, but we already have it during the presentation, which here we have the point, and we have ahead of us a proposal from the African region to really phase out dental amalgam by 2030, which is already happening in many countries in the region, as we got from the experience shared by all the panelists and most of the panelists here. It is not something that is impossible because it's ongoing in Uruguay, in Zambia, in Bangladesh, and in many other corners of the region. Thank you so much, Pastor, for your time and for your consideration. And we would like to say, okay, maybe see you at COP5. If there is I give the floor to the Secretariat for the last, maybe if there is a last something that you want to share with us. You have the floor, the Secretariat.
Thank you very much, Gilbert, and thank you everyone for joining today's event. We would love to hear more, but the time is limited. We need to stop. But for your information, the presentation slides and the whole recording of the event will be made available on the COP online events web page. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you.